Hello there, Scotty. You are at day 28. 3 more left after this. Big Hero 6. Yes, this was a movie that when it came out, I was interested. And my friend at the time, he brought it over. He rented it for something and he brought it over and we watched it. And I was blown away. He had already seen it, so I was kind of guessing what was going to happen. And I know, rewatching it now, it is kind of predictable who the villain is going to be. But I had no idea. I actually pointed out someone else, which in hindsight doesn't make sense, but would have been creative. But the story here is Hiro Hamada is a 13-year-old prodigy, basically, because he graduated high school already. But he spends most of his days robot fighting. This little robot thing. His brother, Hadashi, is pushing him to do more, so he takes him to his college school, and Hiro decides, after seeing all this stuff, he wants to enroll, so he has to prepare a presentation. And so he creates these robots, they sort of multiply, do things, and form shape, and all that stuff. And so he puts it together for the performance, but unfortunately something happens. It seems like he gets in. He does get in, but then a fire happens. When they go back to the building, there's a fire. The brother runs in to save Mr. Callahan, who was in there still, and dies. Now, we don't see a body, and this is a PG movie, but PG? PG. A PG movie, so we don't see any body. I'm not familiar with the comics it's based on. Now, those of you who are wagging your finger going, Scotty, you said you weren't doing any Marvel movies. To me, this doesn't count. Live action, MCU, Marvel type stuff is what I meant. This to me doesn't count. It's a Disney animated film. That's what I see. So yeah, and so Hadashi created Baymax to sort of protect Hiro, which is why I thought he was the villain. I thought Hadashi was the villain because he was going to go into to hiding. And so he needed someone to protect his brother, and that was going to be Baymax. And he took his brother's design. He was doing something. I don't know what his end game was, but then halfway through they reveal something that completely twists it. It's like, okay, it can't be him. It's got to be this guy, even though they believe it's another guy. But no. So yeah. And you got side characters. I don't remember all the names. Honey Lemon and Fred. The only two I can remember. There's a character voiced by Damon Wayans Jr. Fred is voiced by T.J. Miller. Janice Rodriguez voices Honey Lemon. And there's another lady. She has skates. They become sort of a superhero fighting team after Hiro tries to take on this Kabuki guy by himself. And it doesn't work, so Baymax calls his friends, which are them, not his aunt for some reason. And so he sets up Baymax to fight. And I'm still not a big fan of the orange suit thing that he's got going on. I know it's a protective suit, carbon fiber, to help him fight and everything, fly. But I just like the simple white Baymax look. I prefer that. But there was a lot of stuff coming out with Baymax that I wanted to get something Baymax. Never did because they were all that suit. I didn't want that. I wanted the white one. Hello. There was even a Funko that was released and it was in the suit. I'm like, no. I want the white one. I'm sure they have one by now, but I should look that up. Anyway, yeah. So, partway through the film, we get this video footage revealing that Callahan's daughter was the subject of an experiment of teleportation, and the portal broke down, and she quote unquote died, which is a Disney movie, so sometimes it can happen, but not here. And they believe that it is actually Cray, the guy who is funding these experiments, that's behind it. The only reason they think it's Cray, though, is because Callahan is dead. But it's obviously Callahan. Again, we didn't see a body. And again, that points in the direction of, well, if Callahan is still alive, couldn't Hadashi still be alive? But yes, and so it is revealed to be Callahan behind this the whole time. Of course. But Hero realizes that Callahan's daughter, Abigail, is still alive. She's just, because Baymax says he senses life signs. And so they both go in there. But of course, we gotta have the cliche, they save the girl, but one has to stay behind. Baymax is forced to stay behind for some reason, I don't remember. Like battery power or something, and he pushes with the power fist, and I think it, like, they save Abigail. Callahan goes to jail, so there's that. But then Hero finds his chip, Baymax's chip, and I guess we're supposed to believe that he's rebooted by the end of this. So, yeah. The animation looks pretty good. I like the voice acting's pretty good. There's a mid-credit scene with Fred revealing his father is Stan Lee. Well, played by Stan Lee, I guess. Underwear. Joke. Wearing it frontwards, backwards, inside out, frontwards, backwards. But you can't wear underwear backwards, especially tidy whities, briefs, because they're designed to only work one way. So wearing backwards is going to right up in your butt crack. So that ain't going to be good. As someone who has accidentally put his underwear on backwards many times, I wear boxers now. But I'm just saying, I used to wear briefs, and it's not comfortable wearing them backwards or inside out. More comfortable inside out than it is backwards. But I'm just saying. But yeah, I can see where people would think the twist of it being Callahan is too obvious. I didn't, because I actually thought he was dead. Although, rewatching this is my third time watching it in total, it is very obvious when he sees these things that Hero is putting out. It's like, okay, you can see the moment. If you already know the twist, you can see the moment that he realizes, I can use these. Yes. And it's voiced by James Cromwell, so that's another, although in recent years he played a good guy. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, he was a good guy technically. He died, but you can And I think another fact is that I was really expecting Hero's brother to make a comeback. Maybe if they actually did the sequel that they set up. They did a TV series, but I haven't watched any of that at all. But I don't know. They should stick to movies, because I would have rather had a movie sequel to this than a TV show. Same thing with some Marvel movies. Like, okay, the whole Marvel TV show thing was fun. Can we stop and just go back to doing straight movies now? No? More TV shows? Okay. And I get it. It's more fun to tell an 8-hour story than just 2.5-hour story. However, there are some of the shows that I think would have worked better as a 2.5-hour movie. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a big example of that. There's a lot of filler with that show. A lot of walking around and talking that I think could have worked better if they just down into another film. Loki's another one that they could have done into a film. And having recently watched Moon Knight, that's another one I think would have worked better as a 2.5-hour film. I just, I'm getting off topic, but I'm just saying a lot of these Marvel shows would have worked better as a 2-hour or so film. instead of an 8-hour show with filler in it. And there's like literally Moon Knight has an entire episode that's basically filler where they're in an asylum and it's going back and forth as to which is the real reality. Seen it. Buffy did it first and better because at least they further the story, right? Just saying. But this movie, back to the movie is good. I'll say it's pretty good. Nothing else to say. Animated movies, but yeah, there's some decent fight scenes. The villain is a little generic, but in true Disney fashion, it's a villain that's more of an antagonist where he has good intentions for doing bad things. And I like the side characters, even though I can't remember all the names. Honey Lemon and Fred excluded. But yeah. And Hero, there was a character on Heroes called Hero, spelled the same way, Hiro, Hero. And the idea of San Francisco and Tokyo having a fusion city, San Francisco, interesting, looks cool, but it's basically like every futuristic city you've ever seen, but it's fun. It's fun. And I remember watching this the first time and thought the robot fighting thing was going to play into it more, right? Like he was going to find Baymax and start a robot fighting thing before stumbling back onto the mystery of his brother's death or whatever. But it just sort of happens right away almost. So I don't know. But it's still pretty good to me. So, what are your thoughts on Big Hero 6? In the comments below, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Like I said, we got 3 more. 3 more, baby. 2 of which are probably long movies with pirates, but still. So, thank you for watching. I'm Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.